It's the Benz Brunani womanist. Baby boys, baby girls, you need to hear this. You sit down, receive this realness. Make sure your cup's ready for the tea. We are go sip it, yo. Hard time scrolling for your long shorts. You might learn something you never know. Collect you fine, and she's one of a kind. Don't say you're mine, say you're mine.
It's actually not another week. This is an emergency straw episode. Emergency straw episode because I've recorded the podcast for Monday. So you would have heard that probably before listening to this, or maybe if you're just a pagan like that, you're listening to this back to front, you saw emergency straw and you were like, no, I'm going to listen to that one first. And then now you're coming to this one. So welcome to SYM. Officially known as Say Your Mind, unofficially known as what? Suck your mom. Yeah, yay! Yay! So it's so fun. Like for the first time I have a guest, and who other, if I'm not gonna have like my mum on the show as my first guest, obviously my first guest has to be someone who means the absolute world to me, and so that's man like Richie Brave. We've been friends for so long, and
very long as well.
Thank you for joining me, because sometimes we just need to distribute straws as a community.
And I'm struggling with this one. Oh, man.
So this is like an emergency episode. We're not going to do our usual share your magnificence and so you mad, because you've already had that in the other one, in the the usual version of the week. That's going to be in that one. This one is simply for us to address the major things that happened this week. And, it's basically Anthony Joshua. Like, we can't dance around it. Now, I just want to stress, because I feel like you would probably agree, it's not so much him. It's not him as an individual. It's the fact that he's voicing something that we've heard many, many times before. And it's so deeply ingrained within our society that I'm worried by how many people aren't bothered by it.
Or attacking people because they're bothered by it. And I struggle with this one because I'm an Anthony Joshua fan, innit? So I'm not overly a sport person, but boxing is the one sport that I engage with. So, and Anthony Joshua's my guy, so doubly so, man.
But I mean, you have to support him. I feel like it's one of them things where he's not. I feel like probably Muhammad Ali is one of the only boxers that I know that took thumps to the head and he still made sense. Like, I feel like, generally speaking, like, I just want to attribute that nonsense that he spewed to the licks that he took. I mean, he's champion, but even champions have to take blows. But I know that it's not. I know that it's not because he took some licks upside the head. That's why he said these things. So in case you've been living under a rock, this is the interview. This is just an excerpt of the interview that he had. And they said to him, are you a strict dad? And he said, I don't think I'm strict with Joseph. I don't know why. But with my niece, I'm strict. I think it's because she's older, but also he's a boy. He's going to be a man's man. He'll want to spread his wings, be a Jack the lad, build his character. But I'm sure there are things that I will be strict about. But with my niece, there is none of that Jack the lad nonsense for her. My view is you have to be a good woman, respectful. One day you'll be someone's wife. You will have to learn family morals, what it is to be a good woman.
And it's almost like a good woman by whose standards?
Right.
So I don't know, I struggle with it because it's like her life has been set out for her already.
Yeah.
You need to be a good woman. In order to be a good woman, you need to be this kind of person.
Yeah.
B and C. And I kind of just feel like, your whole I don't understand how from a child, your whole character can be shaped based on being somebody's wife.
Yes.
I think that's a problem.
Yeah.
Children, if you're approaching young girls, if you're raising young girls, if you've got young girls in your life, I think it's about building content of character within them, allowing them to be individuals, and a man who is suitable to be a husband can appreciate the person that she is. I don't think she should be molded. Because it's like, perfect woman for who?
That's what I don't get. Like, from the time that girls are born into this life, someone's telling them, get ready. You need to learn how to cook to be a wife. You need to learn how to clean to be a wife. How about I just learn all these motherfucking skills so I can survive as a human being? Like, this is it. Why don't I just keep a clean home because I don't want to get some obscure disease? Like, why don't I just do these things so I'm a self-actualized, independent, autonomous human being. Why am I doing it? Because one day I need to service someone who wasn't taught these skills at home.
And what are you getting back?
Right. Oh,
that's the question. So
you're getting a husband. You're getting a husband.
Getting back.
Wow. Oh my God, you got a husband. You should be so proud of yourself. Well done.
Really. I think my biggest problem is it's kind of like the micro message or the macro message in that is the boy is allowed to have an identity.
Yes.
And this girl's identity is about her proximity to a man.
Yeah.
It's not about her individualness.
No.
Or individuality. So
no.
It's about her proximity to a man. That's a problem. How is your identity wrapped up in whether you're able to get a man or not?
But this is it to a lot of women, and I think for a long time, and you know me, already, for a long time we talk about the fact that I don't even wear an engagement ring. I don't wear it because I just feel like, firstly, it's expensive as fuck, and I didn't want it to get lost because that was my fear. Like, know myself, I would just go and leave it somewhere. But I wasn't wearing it because, there are other factors to that. Like, instantly, women like me more. When women see a ring on my finger, they like me more. And I've said it time and time again. Married women hate single women. They hate them. Firstly, because we're taught that to be single is to be, oh my God, you're why does no one want you?
Man.
And that's another thing that you're threatened by me having, by me being single and not kind of attached to anybody.
Experience, like direct experience.
Yeah. Yeah, married women, I think most of them, the ones that that I know are vile. There are obviously some that I love greatly, but
don't come for my mama, you mad.
But a lot of married women that I know, they just move wild. And what's funny is that what I've discovered is married people cheat with married people. So actually, your attention is going in the wrong place. Your attention is going in the wrong place because it's those people that you're going on couples holidays with.
It's Pete and Jane next door.
That's it. Yeah, Jane's walking your man, and you're not at this, and you're looking elsewhere.
Jane come back from hedonism.
I had such a great time. I don't know. I just felt new experiences. So but I just feel like they hate it because it's like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not single anymore. I don't have to put up with that shame of being single, and also, oh my God, I'm threatened because this woman is single, so she could still come and take my man.
And people weaponize it as well. Like I've seen online so much, even on these like trash TV shows. I'm married. What are you?
Yeah.
Are you married or are you not married?
Right.
I've got a husband. What? Are you?
Well done. And your husband is every day in the strip club. So every day in the strip club, the money that he can use for electricity, he's using it. He's inserting it in between women's ass cheeks. Sorry, babe. Or babe, we're sitting in the dark. I know, it's just like, oh, Destiny put it down last week, and and our money's gone. Our money's gone. Right. Like, it's like married. I remember falling out with a useless individual, and she said, oh, all this time engaged, but when is the wedding day? But at the end of the day, you've had your wedding day and you married an infant, basically, because this guy is incapable of doing anything. Like, both of you are just useless together. Like, you married a man child and you're frustrated with your life because you've now subjected yourself to allegedly an eternity with an idiot. So you're vexed, but again, you want to weaponize it because you're just like, I've achieved something. Oh my God. My sister's given up her last name and she's got a husband. Thank God. First of all, I still stand by the fact that I don't understand why anyone needs to give up any part of their fucking name. Because imagine having an identity for pretty much all of your life, and then you've got to give that away to be part of someone else's. My issue with it is that men, and there've been numerous articles written about this, men feel no actual change from getting married, in the sense that they don't actually need to go and change anything. They started as Mr., they finish as Mr. Whereas the processes, it affects them so little in that sense that there's no changing of identity, as it were. And women, that's not the case. You move from one to the other, unless you choose to go by Ms. and whatever, but you move from one to the other. And no one recognizes that there is so much that a woman has to like consider in terms of, and that's why a woman leaves her father's home and joins with a man. And it's just like
this as well, like, you're a married woman now.
Yes.
Like, people will project that on you. So you're a married woman now. That means I mean, men get it as well, but I think
less so.
Anthony said, it says a lot
Less so, because a man is still a man. A man is still a man. Men will be men. Boys will be boys. Men have that to their advantage. So if he fucks up, it's like, oh, but you know, boys will be boys. It's a man thing. Whereas a woman is like, oh, you're married now, don't do this. Like I've had women who say to me, oh, sorry, I can't come to your twerk classes or pole classes because you know I'm a married woman and I've got to think of how it will come across.
Sorry, my batty can't move anymore.
Oh, yeah, I've turned into the Tin Man. Can't move because of the ring on my finger. It's wild, but
sometimes that's a cultural thing as well. Because I mean, for me, like being of Guyanese background, carnival's a big thing in my culture.
Yeah.
So women will go and fling their batties, married or not.
Yeah, and I appreciate them
to fling your batty. Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
but it's weird. It's just weird how what marriage does to people and what the pursuit of marriage does to people. I've always wondered if I'm a bit like, I don't know, broken, because it doesn't freak me like that. Like the whole marriage thing, it doesn't excite me in that way. Like,
I think that's broken though. I just think it's about what you put on marriage. I think maybe what you've put on marriage isn't the same that everybody else.
But this is it, and but this is it. But for the longest time, that's what I thought. I must be broken because I don't get it. But actually, no, I'm not the broken one. I don't see why you're all stressing yourself out for this. It's not even marriage. You're stressing yourself out for a wedding because more time people don't put the effort into building a marriage. They put the effort into having a wedding. And so then after you've had the wedding, you've then got to figure out the person that you've contractually decided to stay with.
And I do think once you enter into a marriage, there's an element of change that happens anyway. I think it changes the shape of a relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure how because I'm not married.
Yeah.
I feel like it does change the shape of a relationship. But yeah, it's almost having to relearn yourself.
Yeah.
Again, like you're saying, if men are going through so little change, there's going to be a lot of relearning that a woman has to do to kind of accommodate him. Yeah. And soon after, most people then have children, and then it's just like it's a lot. But that's not the point. My point is really, it's that Anthony felt confident to make that. Also, my issue is that it wasn't even with his daughter. I'd understand if it was like, oh, my daughter, because that's a child of yours. But you're going to go and chuck your long lips into someone else's, growth. Your niece, like. Yes, she's related to you, but that's your niece. That's not your daughter. So, and this is a problem that I find in the culture anyway, how aunties and uncles want to tell you how you should be living your life. And I know that we have this saying, it takes a village to raise a child. But fam, nobody begged you. Leave me alone. Yeah.
Like,
what village?
What village? The village of Peckham.
I believe it takes a village to raise a child, but I think as a parent, you've got to be vetting what's being put in your child's head, and you've also got to be applying context. Because
there are also village idiots within the village.
You know my thing that I find the most difficult about this, and I'm not trying to make it dramatic. I've worked in domestic abuse for years, and these views that people have about what it means to be a good woman and what you need to do for your husband and how you need to cater and how you need to behave. These are the things that people use to justify abuse.
Yes, yep.
Almost like I know I'm not saying Anthony Joshua's abusive in the
No,
not in the slightest, but I'm saying like this narrative that we're pushing out. We got to be careful about who takes that and runs with it.
Yeah.
Like these kind of things about what a woman should be and how a woman should behave, and she needs to be a good woman. It's almost like, well, when you're in a marriage and you're not a good woman, then what happens?
Yeah.
Your man no longer feels like you're a good woman anymore. What for you now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's bigger consequences to this kind of narrative.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we have these conversations and we innocently put them out. And I say things on Twitter. Lots of people say things online. But you've got to be careful about who's reading that and contextualizing what you're saying. Because this isn't a rap song that you're able to remove yourself from. These are your opinions.
It's sad.
People be like, see, well, if, in order to be a good woman, and even the abuse that you got and other women got for speaking out against what was written kind of shows the mentality that's being promoted. I just think, like, come on, man.
I just think it's weird how lots of men came to DM me to say, first of all, you should understand what he's trying to say. You're all taking it out of context. And I'm like, wait. It's within the context of an interview and it's within the context of the words that he spoke of himself. So what am I, but it's the fact that when it comes to men don't want to make other men accountable for the things that they do and the behaviors that they put forward, because it's just like, oh, well, we are above reproach. We shouldn't be told anything. It's you guys that have to, like, a man even with the domestic violence example that you gave, and this is something that this is an industry that you've worked in for years, helping people who are victims of this.
Perpetrators.
Yes,
that's what I'm
right.
saying,
And but they will turn around and be like, oh yeah, but choose better men. And it's like, no, you're missing. But yeah, that's it. You're coming back to victim blaming, because it's just like, you should have, the responsibility still comes back to you to have chosen someone. And how am I meant to know exactly? I mean, there are definitely red flags with a lot of these things, as people say, but you can't speak to each individual situation. And most things aren't always physical violence.
Yeah. It's a mental, all of these things, this is what I'm saying. So I'm not accusing anyone of abuse in that statement of being abusive. What I'm saying is all of these things are little pieces in the puzzle. And I've said things in the past, you've probably said things in the past. Everyone in society have said things in the past that, well, not everyone, but a lot of people that have attributed to this kind of behavior. And I think really there needs to be a turn. We need to start looking at the things that we're saying, how they're interpreted and how they affect children. And mainly young women, really.
This is it.
When it comes to view, and kids are in school like, oh, you're this, you're not, you're this, you're a slag, blah, blah, blah. You're 12 years old, but they've still got an ideology about what a good woman is.
Yes.
You're 12 years old and you're having these things projected.
And you're spewing respectability politics because this is what you've been told.
By young boys.
Yes, yeah.
Young boys are doing this I've worked in school, young boys are doing this to young girls all the time. Their value is about their proximity to men. Whether you've been too close to men, that means you're nasty. If you're not close enough, that means you're frigid. If you dress in a certain way, that means you're this. If you talk in a certain way, that means you're that. If your hair's like this, that means you're not good. If your hair's like that, that means you're better. All of this stuff is respectability politics. It's
just disgusting. But I find the reason I find everything so funny about this whole Anthony Joshua situation is because he's the mother of his child is a pole dancer. Like
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Nicole Osborne. Like, she makes pole dance videos. If you look her up on Instagram, she's beautiful. She's very, very stunning. Not because she's light skinned, but just because as a human being, she's very beautiful. Wow. And she's very flexible, and she does incredible things on the pole. But that only went to anger me further, because I just thought, who the fuck then are you? Who the fuck then are you to be telling your niece that you need to be this and you need to be that, when you went and exploded your semen in someone that makes pole dance videos online? Not to say that there's anything wrong with pole dance videos, because I make pole dance videos. But my issue is that, but it's the issue is that surely people look on that and go, that's not a good woman. But that's the person that you went and had a child with. But you want your niece to not have those experiences. And you talk about, you want your niece to learn family morals. At the same time, your son doesn't need to learn family morals, which is why I wrote the tweet. For centuries, it's a very weighted statement. That's it. And you know what a Jack the Lamb we know is someone that doesn't have any accountability, has no responsibility, is very toxic in his masculinity. All of those things. Those are the things that you are gifting an innocent soul in this life. And then but he deserves a good woman. And so when I wrote the tweet, for centuries we've been rearing girls to be good wives, or women to be good wives, but we haven't been raising the men who deserve them, or the husbands who deserve them. This is it. This is it. We focus so much on, you must do this as a woman, do this as a woman, don't ever do this. But men, just do. I think everyone was sending me the quote by Michelle Obama that we raise our daughters, but we love our sons. Yeah, it's a good point. And it's fine. He did that. It's fine. It's okay. And it's not. I don't take these things lightly, because like you said, these are the seeds that sprout all of this demonic and horrible fruit later on. Whether it is domestic violence, whatever it is, we don't address it enough. We don't even address the fact that most women, when they are killed, they're killed by a partner. And so how did that happen? Because you feel that you own this person, like this person belongs to you, so I can do this. And that also comes back to, you are my possession. You don't have any character. You're cardboard. You belong to me. It's over 100 women a year. Right. In the UK alone. Oh. But 2 women a week. But you can jump up in my DMs talking about, I don't understand what's going on. And then for Steph, how do people say her name? Because I call her StefflonDon't because it's StefflonDon't, right? Yeah, that's what I say. But StefflonDon't, whatever it is, I need to tell you now. I need to tell you now, you scarecrow-looking bitch. Yeah, understand that. First of all, my straw of the week goes out to Anthony Joshua. But should you ever, in your godforsaken pussy clot life, ever decide to comment on anything that involves me me again, I will drag you both intellectually and ratchetly. Yeah? Don't play yourself about your jumping into comments, because you know you can never bring it to me, you and your colorism, deeply ingrained colorist ass. You couldn't ever bring it to me. You had to go and comment under something and be like, oh, I don't understand. There are other things to worry about. Why are people focusing on things like this and it be your own people? Bitch, yes, it does be your own people. It's the same you black people that will be looking down on darker skinned women and thinking that we praise you in any sort of way whatsoever. You go and hang on a stick in the field, you scarecrow, you dickhead. Don't ever in your life mention me again. Focus on writing your 16 shots because you don't want to get an extra shot in your pussy. Mind yourself. Mind yourself. So anyway, the reason that I felt like that, she just needs to know, because I feel like there's a special place in hell for women who decide that other women are their issue. And the reason that you think I'm the issue is because I'm addressing something that's in the long run going to benefit you. Instead of you questioning, why am I not being paid the same as my male peers in the industry? You don't ever critically, analyze things like that. Instead, you decide on focusing that, oh, these women are angry. And the thing is, for you pick-me's to survive, you need to have these antagonist women like myself who say the things that you will not say, but later on, should change be made, you benefit from it. Because for everything that you had now, there had to be a loudmouth bitch that fought for it in the first place. For you to even be in the music industry now, there was a loudmouth bitch who fought for it in the first place. Yet you don't ever appreciate these things. Instead, you sit there and you guys are the ones that nip and nip and nip and nip at our feet as we try to climb higher and pull us all along. And I will not stand for it. In 2018, I beg you, little girl, do it again. Do it again.
I was just wondering how that felt for you, seeing that response, because we had a WhatsApp conversation about it, didn't we? But I hear what you're saying, like addressing it, but I was wondering how it felt, like a fellow woman. Obviously you're in the entertainment industry as well, like nipping at you like that. But
that's it. I just feel like there's a special place in hell for them. That there's nothing to to conceptually like articulate. You're a dickhead. Don't ever mention me again. That's it. Like I can't keep giving, I feel like it gets to a point where I think, people think that because you empower other women, or your platform is built on empowerment, it means that you'll take shit and you'll just let people do whatever they like and you'll just accept it. And that's not how this works. The whole reason that my platform is what my platform is because I'll cuss you out, I'll cuss a man out, I'll cuss anybody out. Anybody can get it. This is it. It's equal opportunities. That's what I want in life. Equal opportunities. So if I'm going to drag a man, I'll drag you too. But especially if what you're doing is perpetuating a toxic patriarchal notions that are killing us all, literally killing us all.
I mean, I'm being quiet, obviously, because my place is a man. I'm pretty aware of, mansplaining and trying to come in and saying blah, blah, blah. But what I will say is I do really struggle with the whole, we've got bigger things to worry about. When what we said earlier on is all of these things are small pieces in a big puzzle.
Right.
So if we address these little things, we're going to be addressing the bigger issue.
Right.
So to come at you for addressing something, I mean, StefflonDon't, in terms of the way she dresses, she looks good. The clothes that she
dresses like a scarecrow. She dresses like a masquerade.
Hear me out.
That runs in the streets of Ojuelegba. That's where she dresses like. Tracksuit, heel wearing bitch.
In terms of the way that she dresses, there are going to be men that are going to have an idea about the way she dresses. They're going to form ideals about her and ideas about her and perceptions of her that feed into what you're trying to address. So what I struggled with is, like you're saying, what you were saying was benefiting her as well. Yeah. Like that colorism stuff as well. Like even off the back of women speaking like that, you still speak up for people. Yeah. You still will open your mouth. So if it affects all women, it's something that you will speak about. So it's difficult to watch somebody where you've spoken about something that directly addresses them, because their platform is built on, she's got sexiness about her. That's one of the things she uses to sell. So for you to say what you're saying and for her to come at you is a problem, man. Like I struggle with that.
I think that's the case for a lot of women. I think that's the case for a lot of people. Let's move sexism out of it and just look at even racism, as it were. You have so many black people who hate you for speaking out about the things that actually it affects us all. But it's because we have to understand that the reality is that people are comfortable in their oppression. And when you start to kind of antagonize that, they get scared because people are scared of change. And this is part of the problem. And nobody really wants change. They would rather stick with the pain that they know than like the glory that they don't know.
Absolutely.
And this is where my frustration lies with her. Like, how are you still even opening your mouth? Like, people haven't even finished you haven't even finished cooling down from the heat of the colorism debate. And you came now to come and join this one.
Yeah. And there wasn't really an apology for that, was there?
No, she just kept dancing around it. She didn't want to apologize, and she wanted us to be grateful because I've put up pictures of dark-skinned women, dark-skinned cartoons in the past.
And this is what I struggle with as well. I think like this whole celeb culture, you say some really off-key things and you just get away with not apologizing, and then anyone who speaks out against you is a hater.
Yeah.
Like even with the whole Anthony Joshua thing,
yeah,
you know I've been a fan.
Yeah.
But in speaking out and sharing my opinion and saying, oh, like I don't agree with what you said, you're a hater, or he makes more money than you, or like with StefflonDon't, she's more you know the successful people say, oh, she's more successful.
Okay.
Well, that don't mean nothing.
But what I find hilarious about that is also success is relative.
Well, exactly.
Like, so, but that was the first thing. So the first thing I was getting was that, oh, you didn't understand what he was trying to say, blah, blah, blah.
Like,
right.
clear, like,
but then the second thing was, oh, you're not as successful as Anthony. So how dare you? How dare you? Oh, so it's only an equally successful person that can speak to him. Exactly. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't step in the ring for someone to punch me up my head. But you know what? I've got a studio. I've got a pole dance studio. I've built a platform of something that people thought was degrading. I've built a platform on that, and I've reclaimed it as a way of helping and healing other women. Right. But no, someone actually wrote, came and commented, and they wrote, oh, just because you were on the news for 5 minutes, you think you can come for Anthony Joshua. And it's like, oh, so what I've achieved is nothing. We can talk down about it. Like, how dare you, black woman? How dare you, black woman, have an opinion? Now, I noticed that
you were getting were disgusting,
but I can't see most of them. The way that my notifications are set up, that's you lot's business. Like, you're literally shouting at the wall. But for me, it's like a lot of white people came forward and started liking my tweets, and I had to be very, very clear in that you motherfuckers do not use me to be your poster child for this discussion. And that's it. And I refuse, especially since we've got the image of Skepta and
don't get me started.
We've got the image of Skepta and Naomi Campbell out now, and so you are struggling to deal with black people together, loving each other. Yeah. Oh, but look, here's a black girl arguing with this, arguing and saying bad things about this black guy. No, I'm giving a structural critique. Like, what he did, what he said was flagrantly inaccurate, and we can't continue in that vein.
We're allowed to talk about people in our community. We're allowed to do whenever we do it, oh, you're bringing our community down. No, wait a minute. Part of being one of the things about being part of a community is accountability.
Yes.
That is the whole part of it.
Yeah.
So you don't come in with your racist critique. I'm part of this community.
Yeah.
Let me speak on it. What I'm saying isn't for you.
It's not for you. It's not for you. So when all these white women were coming and clicking like, and they're like, oh my God, I'm so glad you said this because I'm so disappointed in Anthony. I was thinking, you, Sally, back off.
Don't weaponize.
Sally, move the fuck away. There is chicken screaming to be seasoned. Go and do your job. Stay out of this conversation. That was it. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say about that. I just didn't like it. I thought it was very, very shady. Bare white people jumped up, came in, because the thing is, you're jumping up about Anthony Joshua today, but when it hits Monday and I'm talking about racism, don't come and cry. Don't come and cry.
Yeah.
So
I'm well aware of what people like and what they don't, and I'm sick of us addressing our community being weaponized. It's either white racists saying, see, this black person feels the same way, or you have people within our community, oh, we're always trying to tear each other down. Well, no one said Anthony Joshua is a shit boxer. No one said he doesn't have talent. No one said he hasn't done great things. No, what he said was problematic. Right. And if you're successful, more successful than I am, your platform's bigger. If your platform's bigger, more people are going to hear what you're saying. If more people are going to hear what you're saying, then you need to be accountable for what you're saying. That's it. Because it's directly affecting my life. People are going to go and follow you. Well, Anthony Joshua thinks it, so what I'm thinking must be right. Yeah. So I got another DM. I got loads of DMs and comments and whatever, and people were like, "Oh, this is you downgraded bitch. That comes you're coming to you came and you're just shouting at you're shouting at your phone, looking like a crazy bitch. Anthony is doing what he needs to be doing as a successful black man. You're a hating, bitter black woman." And this was sent to me by a black woman. What?
Yeah.
Are you joking?
No.
Wow.
Other women, they didn't want to go all the way there because they didn't want to catch the heat.
I'm so shocked. I was like, what?
No, they'll say stuff like, just count to 10, love.
That's so condescending.
And there's nothing I hate more in this life than when I'm angry about something and people start making a joke of it, because I will burn everybody. Don't. And so when I don't know you, I don't follow you, and you're DMing me saying count to 10, love, you know who should count to 10? Your pussy. Tell your pussy to count to 10 and to shrivel up and then die. But honestly, like, as reluctant as I would be to give it to someone who's achieved a lot in their sporting career, as a human being, as a man, for the toxic things that he spewed in that interview, Anthony Joshua has to take this emergency straw. Like, this is why we had to have this emergency meeting, and I had to get Richie in because it needed to be addressed. StefflonDon't and other women who think like her patriarchal princesses, aka Pick Me FC, you also take that straw as well. There's a straw for you.
Got about 20 on the
just straws for everybody. Straws for you, straws for you, straws for everybody. There's more than enough straws in the world to go around should you deserve one. So that's that.
No, tell me how you can address all of that and shut it down with, so that's that.
We're gonna move on. So because you're obviously my first guest, and what I want to do with my guest,
sat here the whole time with my mouth just wide. Try not to start. Oh my God. I love you so much.
I love you, and I'm glad you're here because it just gives that sort of structure to, you know, my flames. You're like, no, how do you feel about that? I don't care. Fuck them all. No, Kelechi, that must be infuriating. I don't know.
You know what it is for me? Like, obviously, you know, my interest has always been like mental health, and that kind of stuff. And I just, like I'm saying, I keep saying this, and it's probably tiring, but pieces in the puzzle, all of this kind of stuff makes young women feel like they're not worthy. Makes them feel like they're not good enough. Makes them feel like they're not doing a good job. Makes them feel like they're not woman enough. Makes them feel like they're not achieving. All of that's going to have an impact on your mental health. And when you're seeing the amount of women going through mental health services, black women at that, it's a problem. Like, so I'm just like, anything that reinforces that is a huge problem for me. Like, his statements angered me, but more than anything, they made me feel sad. You know? Like, it made me feel so sad, because for me, as an Anthony Joshua fan, I'm someone who probably wrongly held him up on a pedestal. You know what I mean? This guy's amazing. Even the way he behaves, like what I saw of him on television, the things that he said. For me, I was like, this guy's great. So to come out with something like this that can be so harming, and people are like, I've had people online tell me, oh yeah, you're blowing it out of proportion, blah, blah, blah. But the reality of it is, this affects people's lives. There are young girls that look at Anthony Joshua and think he's great. There are young boys, and he's reinforcing something that I think is really unhealthy. And StefflonDon't in the same way. She could have said, you know what? I may not agree with her, but A, B, and C. But what she did is she just came through. There are bigger things to worry about. You can't invalidate something that's so huge. Yes, there's bigger things to worry about, maybe, in your opinion. But I'm worrying about this. So if you've got nothing constructive to say,
shut your mouth.
Just don't say a thing.
But the thing that gets me is that this belief that we all have, that we can only worry about one thing at one time. Because I worry about a number of issues, and I'm just expressing one of them. But if you go through my fucking timeline, I'm also talking about the other things simultaneously.
Can we do a 7-hour podcast? Don't worry about. I've got time, you know.
And this is it. But because you happen to your attention was drawn to one thing that I'm talking about, one subject that I'm talking about, I obviously couldn't be worrying about other things. And it's funny that this microcosm of a thing that affects us in a global sense, you're seeing as, oh, we can worry about bigger things. What bigger things? Tell me. I'd like you, UN leader, StefflonDon't, tell me what the bigger things are. What is bigger to me as a black woman than the survival of black women? What?
I hear you totally.
But so that's what gets me. And you, as a black woman, like, what the fuck are you doing? So that's, like I said, that's that. Anyway, I've got my tarots.
And you know, I'm such a jokey person. It's so serious all the time. I'm like,
I've got my tarot cards, and Richie is going to pick one for us. Witchcraft. So just shuffle them up and just pick one, and we'll...
Shuffle, you know.
A lot of people.
I played blackjack for years.
I don't know any card game. I don't know how to play poker. I don't know how to play blackjack.
Can you play blackjack?
No.
Are you joking?
No.
No, are you being serious?
I honestly don't know any. I know Snap.
What happened?
I don't know.
Actually, you spent your childhood in Peckham.
Yeah.
Nigeria and Peckham.
Yeah.
Come on.
But it's just
Peckham
card
was a big
games.
part of your life.
Yeah.
No, I'm upset.
I play Snap.
I can't believe you don't know how to play blackjack.
I'll learn. I mean, I've recently started like playing pool more. I'm gonna play more pool. I'm terrible at pool, but you know, it is what it is.
I've picked a card.
Oh my gosh, this is interesting. So you picked. Oh, this is such an energy. This is such a vibe.
Bang, because I'm an energy guy.
Why? So Richie picked the 10 of Swords. The 10 of Swords.
I love how you're holding that up.
Oh my God, like this card, it came up for us both for a reason. And this is why, spirit guides, I love you, babes. I like that you all like are so patient with me, with us, as we do our fuckeries. I know that you want me to be a better person and my highest self. And every single time I while out and you're just like, why was I assigned to this girl? Like, she is too much drama.
And then I'm your WhatsApp.
Yeah, boy. Kiki.
I swear, our WhatsApp conversations ever.
We would be destroyed. I feel like we would genuinely be destroyed if there was a way to unencrypt the screenshots we send each other. Like, we could be having a perfectly intellectual conversation on Twitter, and then you go into our WhatsApps and we're sending each other the most trash ever. Like, just trash. Like, I don't think you guys understand how much I love Richie. There is no other person, there is no other man that I know in this way that I can be absolute trash with, and he just loves me anyway. Like, I will write such nonsense to Richie and he'll be like, okay, babe, just remember that I love you.
Like, when I'm not joining in.
Right. No. Like, I can be fuming at someone. I'll be like, did you just see what this person said to me on Twitter? I swear I will done her dance. Babe, it's okay. I mean, I haven't had that experience of her, but it's okay, Kelechi. Just remember that I love you. Like, okay, thank you. Thank you, but just know I will cut her. So,
About the children.
No, so I just appreciate you for being always a channel for me to grow. Like
15 years, you know.
15 years, and it's not, you know, it hasn't been easy. And I think that this is another thing as well. Like, we talk about this situation and I talk about someone like StefflonDon't and I talk about all of these things, but I always remember, like, I'm always joking about and saying to you guys that I'm a dickhead in recovery, and I really, really am, because there were times when I held even more trash views than I do now. And I feel like a pivotal point in the friendship of mine and Richie's, and this is just to show you why Richie's on the show, a pivotal point in our friendship was when Rihanna got hit by Chris Brown. And I wasn't a Rihanna fan, and I had so many toxic views, and we were talking about 2008. So this is just showing you how growth happens and how you're going to have to meet yourself one day, and it's either going to be the happiest day or the saddest day of your life. And so Richie and I were debating back and forth, and he was like, there is no debate. There is never ever any excuse for anybody to do that to anybody, and especially a woman having the visuals, what we saw, how Rihanna was beaten, that would never ever be okay. And Richie, from 2008, Richie has been out in these streets saying, no, domestic violence, I don't care. Don't come and tell me, oh, but you know, she looks like she runs her mouth and we don't know what she did. And that was my argument. We don't know what she did. And Richie was like, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
I remember this.
Right.
Yeah,
and we didn't speak for a while. And in that time I went away and I really had to start unpacking, unlearning, and really becoming the person that would serve me in this life. And randomly, I think we started messaging on Twitter. Our accounts saw each other, and we both reached a part in our journeys where we could communicate again, and I'd unlearned so much. I had to. It was and it was a grieving process, letting go those notions and those ideologies that you think serve you, but actually they're killing you. And I can speak to that. Like, I'm a trash individual on any day ending with Y, but I was more of a trash individual back in the day. And we're all growing. And I apologize wholeheartedly for being one of those women that even had those views in the first place. So I understand where women like Steph are coming from, but we're in 2018 where you have a wealth of information, because I feel like my learning grew exponentially with social media. And being exposed to more information and discovering Black feminism and things like that. So a lot changed for me, and I just wish people the same. But while you're on that journey, don't ever come for me.
So Steph,
mind out.
There's still a chance.
There's still a chance.
There's still a chance.
But while you are working through it, there's always a straw for you. So anyway.
I actually hate you.
So we've picked the 10 of Swords, so we'll get to it. So the imagery of the 10 of Swords is a person. It looks like a man, but we'll just say a person on their face, fallen flat on their face, and they've got 10 swords in their back. And the reason that this speaks to me on this particular day, but also exhaustion, just being so tired. Whenever I see this card, it's absolute exhaustion, because life is it's relentless.
You know what? This exhaustion is why I called the police. Why I sent that report to the police when I was getting racial abuse. Yeah. People were telling me they're going to dig up my dead grandmother and rape her.
What?
Can you imagine? And it didn't... You know me, I could water off a duck's back for the most part. I just thought, you know what, I'm tired of this now. Like, you lot are getting a bit too comfortable. This whole Twitter, like going to Twitter, reporting it, you create a new account. No, I want to see your face in Westminster Magistrates Court. I want to see those tears from your eyes. And I want you to tell me that you were stressed in your life.
Good.
You didn't mean it.
Good.
Tell that to me. I'm sick of it now. Like, I'm not reporting it.
No.
I'll let the police know.
And this is where I'm at. I feel like, as someone who's like constantly speaking out about things and getting a lot of backlash, and I think it's gendered. It's definitely gendered. It's racial. It's racialized, and it's gendered as well.
From men as well.
Right.
Like, you're this. You're just doing it because you want to bang.
Yeah.
You this, you that. You're a pussy, or you're soft. You're this. Yeah. I get it all the time. All the time.
It's
probably not as bad as you, obviously.
Yeah. No. It's terrible, and I think that they sit there, and as a Black woman, they really sit there and they think, oh, I can get to you, I can break you down, I can do this, I can do that. By the time you guys listen to this, I would have gone on BBC One Extra to do another talk, and they wanted to speak to me about the Kim Kardashian effect and people getting plastic surgery to look more like the Kardashians and things like that, and my views on it as a Black woman. And I think it's very, very interesting that they've asked me to come on as a Black woman to speak about these things, because I know that there'll be people who jump up and be like, oh, you're a hater, you're a hater, you're a hater. So by the time you listen to this, that will probably already be out.
That's all mad to me, you know.
Yeah.
Like, just being a hater for speaking out about the Kardashians.
Yeah.
That's so mad to me. How can you have that much clout and that much power that you can just do anything that you like? Try and center yourself within the Black community. Yeah. And when the Black community speak out about you,
you're a hater.
You're a hater. That's mad.
You're a hater. You just hate Black men marrying outside of their race. Yeah, that's my issue. But with this card, I don't know if it speaks to Richie and I, but I don't know if it speaks to any of you. And it's exhaustion. It's exhaustion. And this is the card saying, like, I beg you, like, this is your spirit guide saying, I beg you, please, 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 please stop what you're doing now and go and rest, because the other way you can take this is that it's going to kill you. Whatever, you know, not even if it doesn't kill you in the physical sense, it's going to kill you in the spiritual sense to keep battling.
Do you know what I think is interesting that we brought, why it came up here?
Yeah.
Even what I said earlier on as well. Each of those individual swords are the thing that's killing that person on the floor. Yeah. And we're addressing one of those swords today. Right. One, that toxic kind of patriarchy that controls women, that ends up killing them in abusive relationships. That's something that we're talking about today. I think it's very apt that card came up.
It's beautiful. We don't consider it. And when we talk about swords as well, especially in the sword suits, when we're looking at the tarot deck, the swords are about intellect, you know, so that's right in that, looking at it with the perception of like each one of these things are ideologies that will kill us, that will kill us and will exhaust us, and you know, their thoughts. And it's definitely a mental thing that can express itself in the physical, in that these things are causing you exhaustion, that they're gonna run you down, like they will win. They will win. Absolutely. And so the best thing you can do, sometimes there is victory in retreat. So take your time out and let it go, because not everyday fight, not everyday battle. And so it definitely resonates with me, because I feel on every front I'm battling. I had to fire someone from my studio, and they've taken to going online and talking shit about me, and my initial response was to stay quiet about it. They kept going, so I had to call them and be like, fam, calm down, because I'm gonna move the personal and go with the I'm gonna move the professional and go with the personal, and I will deal with you. Stop it. But that's only spurred them on more, because they want to express their hurt that they're no longer part of the brand. But you know what, Leona, because I'm a Scorpio moon, Leona Nicole Black, she put up a
bad girl.
Bad. She put up a new video, and she was talking about the fact that your business is growing, and there's someone that you've been carrying along and carrying them along for the longest, and you need to let them go, because you can't carry them along anymore, and they're not cohesive with what you're doing. And that was on the day that we decided that no, you're getting fired, you need to go. Oh, wow. So I know that definitely is the right decision, but also with that, she said that there's going to be lots of conflict. But when you're getting conflict from every corner on the internet, in the professional sense as well, it's too much. It's too much. To get it on the internet, to get it at work, like, I don't need that. And the thing is, my brand is my baby. And if I don't feel like you're meeting the standards of the brand, you need to go. But when you're trying to draw for me online, it's not going to end well. It's not. Even in the legal sense, because that's defamation of character. But then in the personal sense, in terms of when we're all from ends, anybody can get it. So I feel like that's important as well. But I know that I'm exhausted, and I'm very ill at the moment as well, but I'm just glad that I got a chance to come in today. And I think it's very telling that that's the card that we picked, especially with the dynamic and the things that I know that is happening in your life, happening in my life. Yeah. It's like,
I'm stressed, man.
This is it.
You know, like, it's a struggle to get out of bed some days.
Yes.
You just lay in the bed thinking, do I really have to?
Do I have to? Do I have to?
Yeah.
Do I have to interact?
I'm not talking to anybody.
That's it.
I need solitude right now.
And I keep saying to you, when we're messaging each other, like, I want to disappear. And I think that people find this funny, because they think I appear so strong, and like, oh, you're such a loudmouth, you're so strong, you're like my big sister. But for the past like 7 months, I've had the overwhelming urge to disappear. I just want to go one day, not tell a single soul where I'm going, and just disappear, because that tells me that I'm tired. And every day there's someone else that wants to nip at you and nip at you. And to them, it's individual.
But that's one of the 10 swords.
Right.
And they don't realize.
I've got another 9 fucking swords.
And just because you're throwing one sword, it's only one sword, but it still means you're complicit with the rest of the 9.
Right.
So yeah, the same. I'm tired of being nipped at as well. I'm at a point where I just feel like I need 7 months, 10 months, 7 years. Never again. I need a new life, new identity.
That's it. And I've said it on the show before, but sometimes I wish I wasn't me, because it's like it's almost it's me to see something that I don't agree with and to speak out about it, but that means that you have to withstand the backlash, and it's exhausting. So
I say to you, like, you're so strong. Like, I've had people say that to me, and it gets to a point where I don't even realize. When they're like, oh, if I had to put up with half the things that you had to, I don't know if I'd be able to survive. But you become so used to it that you don't even realize it's taking chunks out of you until you wake up one day and your brain and your body is just giving up. Yeah. We don't talk about this enough.
We don't. And I was saying to you, like, I want to book somewhere and go away, because I am tired. I am incredibly tired. But on that note, on that cheerful note, you just need to know that we're out here, and as two people who I feel like we do bits and bobs, you know, in socially and everything else, these things tire us out. And I'm so glad that you came on the show with me today. And you have to come back when we can just talk for forever.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. And well, thank you all for listening. I said it was going to be a mini-sode, but I lied.
How long has this been?
Yeah, like, this is full on being an hour. Yeah.
Amazing.
I thought it was going to be 30 minutes, because we were only going to just do an emergency straw, but there were more emergency straws to hand out. But thank you all so much for listening. I've been Kelechi Okafor, and
I'm Richie.
Thank you so much. You've been listening to SYM, officially known as Say Your Mind, and unofficially known as what? Suck your mom. Yeah. Follow Richie on @RichieBrave.
Yeah, and @RichieLDN on Instagram.
And yes, @RichieLDN on Instagram as well. And I'm @Kelechnikov, also @Say Your Mind Pod. It's been real. Thank you so much. All of you have a wonderful week, since you've had a double whammy, and peace.
Peace.
It's the Benz Brunani womanist. Baby boys, baby girls, you need to hear this. Sit down, receive this realness. Make sure your cup's ready for the tea, we are go sip it, yo. Hard time scrolling for your long throats. You might learn something you never know. Collect you fine, and she's one of a kind. Don't say you're mine, say you're mine.